Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to do this little 2-for-1 stitch. I'll show you how to do that in just a few minutes. Now the stitch count for this is 5. It's 5 stitches plus 1 extra stitch at the end. And I want to thank everyone who's been following me and donating on my Ko-fi page. I'll put a link underneath the video. Now Ko-fi is it's a website where you can follow your favourite YouTubers. You can help your YouTuber along by donating the price of a cup of coffee, or you can do more if you like, it's up to you. But you can also click on the follow button and follow for free. Now that I've been on holiday, I'm going to upload a lot more of the pictures of the blankets and things that I've been working on. And also underneath the video, each month I put a little thank you to all the people who've donated that month as well. So I'll put that link underneath the video. Now this beautiful little pattern, it's got a lovely texture. You can use any yarn you want and any size hook. And if you use a thick yarn, this is going to crochet super fast as well. If you use a big hook and thick yarn. Now the yarn for this I'm using is this James Seabury Top Value Double Knitting, and it's a beautiful peach. Now it doesn't have a name on it, it's just a shade colour 8450, and I'm going to do my little sample that I'm going to show you how to do this stitch. I'm going to use this. Now I got this when I was in Florida a few weeks ago, and it's absolutely beautiful. Now it does say $9.99, but I got this in clearance and it was only $4.99 a ball. It's beautiful. It's got Murano yarn in it. You can use any yarn for this. And Loops and Threads, if you're in the USA, the Loops and Threads is Michael's craft store. It's their own brand of yarn. So I'm going to show you how to do this. Now your stitch count is 5 and then add 1. And if you want to do a big blanket, do it in a longer measuring tape and do it in sets of 5 and then add 1 extra stitch at the end. So the best piece of advice I can give you if you want to do your blanket and you don't know how many stitches it needs, if you want to do maybe a little 20-inch blanket, then do your chain in sets of 5 right up until you get to your 20. So that's how you can do a blanket any size that you want. If you want to do this length, then do your chain in sets of 5 along your measuring tape. So I'm just going to do a little sample. You can do it in the centimetres or you can do it in the inches. It's up to you. So this chain is going to get done in sets of 5 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you'll keep doing your chain until all the way along until it's as wide as you want it to be. I'm going to throw that out of the way. Now it's sets of 5. Now your chain is in sets of 5 and add 1 more stitch at the end. So I've done a little sample. Now I'm going to add 1 more stitch, add 1 more stitch. So your stitch count is sets of 5 plus 1 extra stitch. Now right into that second stitch in your chain, you're going to do a UK double crochet. If you're in the USA, this is a single crochet for you. So into that second chain, so count 1, 2, you're going to do a UK double crochet. Then double crochet into the next stitch. Then we're going to do a treble crochet into the next one. So yarn over into the next stitch. We're going to do a treble crochet. And if you're in the USA, that's a double crochet for you. So I've done my treble crochet. I'm going to do a double crochet into the next stitch and my second double crochet into the next stitch, then 1 treble crochet into the next stitch. So it's double crochet, treble, double crochet, treble. So a double crochet to that stitch, a double crochet into the next stitch, and then a UK treble crochet into the next stitch, then a double crochet into the next one, double crochet into the next one, and a treble crochet into the next one. And that's where I get that 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. So it's 1 treble, 2 double crochet, 1 treble, 2 1 2 1 2, all the way along. So I'm down to my last 2 stitches. I've done my treble crochet, and I'm going to do a double crochet in this stitch and a double crochet in my last stitch. Now I'm going to chain 2, 1 2, and turn my work. Now that counts as your first treble crochet. I know it's only 2 stitches, but that counts as your first treble crochet. Now into the next stitch, skip that space right below that 2 chain. Now into the next stitch you're going to do a UK treble crochet. So that counts as your 1 2. Now we're going to do 1 double crochet this time. Now that little bundle is your treble crochet from the last round. So into the top of that you're going to do 1 double crochet. So this time we're reversing it. Your first row is a double crochet, then a treble. Double crochet, treble, double crochet, treble. Then you'll chain 2 and turn, and your next row, that counts as your first treble crochet. So you're doing a treble crochet, and 1 double. Treble, treble, 1 double. Treble, treble, 1 double. All the way along. And that's the 2 rows you'll keep repeating. So into my next stitch, I'm doing a UK treble crochet. That's 2. 1 there and 1 in that stitch. And then a double crochet should always sit in the top of your treble there. Then the next stitch, treble crochet, the next stitch, treble crochet, so that's 2 treble crochets and 1 double. 2 treble crochets into the next, over the next 2 stitches I should say, so 1 into each one, and then a double. Then treble crochet, treble crochet, and a double. So you're doing 2 and 1, 2 and 1, 2 and 1, 2 and 1. So I should call it a 2 and 1 blanket rather than a 1 2. 1 2 sounds better. So I've done my little double on the top of that treble there. I'm going to do this all the way along to the end. So I'm on my last 3 stitches. So I've done my 2 trebles. I'm going to do 1 double crochet and 2 treble crochets into my last 2 stitches. So 1 into that stitch and 1 into that very end stitch there. That is the one right at the beginning of your foundation. And this is what it looks like. It's a really pretty stitch and it's really quick. So this time I'm going to chain 1 and turn my work. So the way this row works, we're going back to the same as down here. We're going to do 2 double crochets, 1 treble crochet, 2 double crochets, then 1 treble. So it's a double, a double, a treble, a double, a double, a treble. And when you come back the way, we'll reverse it. It'll be 2 trebles and 1 double. So to start this row when you're doing 2 doubles, you're going to just chain 1 and turn your work around. Now right into that very stitch, you've got to remember this, when you're starting with your double crochet, you've got to go into that very first stitch there to keep your stitch count correct. So go into that very first stitch. When you're doing a double crochet, you go into the very first stitch. When you're starting with a treble crochet, you go into that one, because your chain of 2 will count as your first stitch. So into that very first space there and do a double crochet. So that's 1 and 1 into the next stitch is 2. So here is your little double crochet from that last row. That's where you're going to put your treble this time. So we're doing a double, double, then treble, double, double, then treble. So into the next stitch it's a double, into the next stitch double crochet, and if you're in the USA these are single crochets for you. Into the next one, treble. So you're going to do a double crochet, a double crochet, and then a treble crochet. Work your way along, a double crochet. You're going into the top of your trebles on the row below. So double, a double, and then a treble, all the way along. And that's the way you're going to work this pattern. One row will be 2 doubles and a treble, and your next row will be 2 trebles and a double, a double, a double, and then do a treble. Makes this really interesting sort of texture pattern, and it's really pretty when you do it with variegated yarn. Look at that, so pretty. And this is what it looks like when it's just in a single colour. You can see the texture more when it's just a single colour, and you get that little ripple sort of running up and down. One of one stitch and 2 of the other, and on your other row you've got 2 of one and 1 of the other. So I'll work my way to the end. So I'm at the end of my row and I've got 2 stitches left. So I've done my treble crochet, and I'm going to do a double in this stitch, and into the top of that little chain of 2 I'm going to do a double crochet, push it into the top stitch of that chain. So the next row is going to start with 2 treble crochets. So I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2. I'm only chaining 2. That'll be high enough, and that way you don't get any holes. If I chain 3 I'll end up with quite a large hole there, and I don't want to. So chaining 2 is enough. So that counts as your first treble crochet, and we're going to move along to the next double crochet here of this row. So that's a treble, and we're going to do another treble into the next stitch. That's the treble crochet of your other row, so we're going to do a double into the top. So now we're going to do treble, treble, double, treble, treble, double, treble, treble, double. We're just going to alternate it from each row. So I've done my double crochet, so now 2 trebles, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1. So that's 2, and then 1 double crochet, 2 trebles all the way to the end, 2 trebles, 1 double crochet, 2 trebles, 1 double crochet. So I've got to the end of the row again. I've done a double here, and I'm going to put 1 treble crochet into the last of the 2 stitches. That's 1 treble and 1 treble. So your next row we're going to reverse it. We've done 2 trebles and a double, 2 trebles. What we're going to do is 2 doubles, 1 treble on the next row. You're just going to keep alternating that row for row. So this time when you're starting with 2 double crochets, you'll do chain 1 and turn and go into that very first stitch this time again. If you don't do that, you'll lose your stitch count. So into the next stitch you're going to do a double crochet. So we've done a double and a double. Now we're going to do a treble crochet into the next stitch, then a double and a double and a treble, 2 doubles, 1 treble, and that's what you're going to keep doing. It is a simple stitch. You just have to remember which row you're on, whether it's 2 doubles and a treble or 2 trebles and a double. And you're going to do that all the way along, and this is the way it looks. It's a really pretty texture on it. You can see it in that darker grey as well, and this is what it looks like. I'm going to bring this one back in. This is nice and bright, this one, and this is what it looks like when you've done quite a few rows. It's really simple and really easy. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It is free to subscribe to this crochet channel, and if you click on the bell icon, YouTube will tell you when I put up another tutorial. So until the next time, happy crafting, and I'll see you all again soon. Goodbye.